Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. And today it's a Patreon cast between Serral and Bunny from Home Story Cup. I know that was a while ago, but there's a lot of great games from this that I like to cast, so let's get right on into it here. Lost and Found, the latter edition, top right-hand corner, we have the Blue Zerg player, Serral. He is from Finland, and in the bottom left, it is the Korean Terran player, Bunny. Okay, should be good stuff here. Bunny, one of the best Terran players on Earth right now. Serral, definitely one of the best Zerg players on Earth right now. Did end up winning BlizzCon back in 2018. Did not win BlizzCon in 2019 because he got taken down by Raynor, who apparently has Serral's number, but not anybody else's, at least among the elite players. Maybe that will change. 16, 18, 17 here. From Serral. My brother just sent me a text about watching a Gonzaga basketball game from a few years ago, and they had Adam Morrison. And he said, man, that mustache was gross, but Morrison had game, and that is correct. And if you are following college basketball back then, you know what I'm talking about. Overlord scouting for proxies. Hit that like button if you're excited to see what Serral can do against Bunny and what Bunny can do against Serral. Should be excellent. Shaping up for a pretty darn long macro game here. Reaper expanding, 16, 18, 17. We'll see when he throws down his third base. Will he send out a drone a little bit early to avoid the Reaper? He likes to do that, you know. Anyway, Reaper name is Miho Nishizumi. Nishizumi? Mio is your average teenage girl who is trying to make friends at her new high school, finish her homework on time, and compete in the tank-based sport of tankery. Normally, the tanks are limited to World War II era vehicles, but in desperation to prevent the closure of her aircraft carrier school, did I mention the high school is on an aircraft carrier? She absolutely needed to win the tankery competition for reasons? Mio then stole a Terran siege tank and tried to use that. Not only did she lose as a siege tank, because they're both slow and have terrible range, but she was also sentenced to the Reaper program for her theft. Reference Girls und Panzer, which I assume is an anime wherein girls are also tanks. I don't even know, man. Anime's crazy sometimes. So Reaper trying to do stuff, and actually doesn't have any kills, but has wounded a few Zerglings there. It's hard to get a Reaper kill when you're playing against Serral, that is for sure. But yeah, snuck the drone down here. Third base came up, no problem. I mean, not all anime's insane. I just finished Gate, which is pretty good. It's a little too harem-y and lowly for me. But the story's fantastic. I really enjoyed what they did with the characters. Overall, one of the better animes that I have watched for sure. I mean, it's not quite Demon Slayer, which, holy smokes, Demon Slayer was a ride. I'm so excited for more of that. You should check that out if you're interested in the anime. And if you are embarrassed that Falcon is a weeb, well, I don't know what to tell you. People like things, it turns out. So Ling's up here. I feel like these want to be Banelings, like really bad. That's what I do. When I want to Baneling bust somebody, I send the Lings up this direction. Maybe try to hide him over here. He's going to try to jump down and shut down this third base, if the third base timing is incoming, which it really isn't. We're kind of two-basing it right now. No third CC is actually on the way from Bunny, strangely enough. It's going for the traditional Hellion stuff with the Reaper. We're going to take down that Creep Tumor for sure, which you can't cancel Creep Tumors, which totally sucks. But what do you do? That tumor gets down. Thank goodness for Serral. Yeah, like, is there a third base? Nope. Strange. Is there a third base coming up at all? Nah, man. We're going Liberator and Banshee Cloak at the same time. Ah, this has to be a fake. If the Overlord comes in and sees researching on the tech lab and sees something on the starport, he'll assume it's Cloak Banshee, but it isn't. Look at him letting the Overlord get in here just close enough to assume Banshee, but it isn't. And then he cancels. Ah! Bunny, what a play. So it's going to be a Liberator here, which, I mean, the response to it is basically the same thing. Get Spores, which he hasn't done yet, strangely enough. He's really droning hard. Lings come in and say, where's the third base? Oh, there it is. It's being built inside the wall of the natural. But did that Liberator finish? Oh, it did. Okay, Liberator's here. You want your queens for that. Safety Spores are coming up. They're not Safety Spores because he saw the starport. I mean, Safety Spores are closer to 345 than 445, but, you know, it's cool. They'll be done by the time he needs them. Serral knows what he's doing. And Creep Tuber. No! Man, I hate it when it shows it finished, but it didn't finish. Right? It's like, done. Hang on. I need a second to put myself in the ground before I'm invisible. If it's done, it should be done. This is my Zerg complaining about when my creep tumors die when it looks like they shouldn't die. So it's going to be Ling Queen to defend against this Hellion stuff. It's not like crazy amounts of Hellions, though. What are we doing? Barracks, barracks? Cool. Barracks, barracks it is. Hellions don't really want to go in here. I mean, they could get some drone kills if they sacrifice themselves entirely. Just YOLO'd right on in, but they don't want to do that. Serral is going for 1-1 for the ground in the melee, which is always a very fun. Implies Ultralisks in the future, which, yes, give me Ultralisks. Inject them directly into my veins. I love a good Ultra. But yeah, it's going to be all this bio here for money. Man, if Serral is rushing Ultralisks, which he's getting a lair, it's not like rushing to Ultralisks. I have had games before, in team games especially, this is really hard to do 1v1, but just like rush 2 Ultras. You go spawning pool first. You go lair as soon as you can. You go queens or infestation pit as soon as you can. And then hive as soon as you can. And then Ultralisk cavern as soon as you can. All the while trying to take enough gas so you actually can make some Ultralisks when the time comes. But it's hard, dude. It's hard to get a good number of Ultras out. I mean, it just seems like Protoss can have, 5 or 6 carriers out in 7 minutes. And I can have, I don't know, maybe 2 Ultras out in 7 minutes. It's hard to do. Zerg takes a while to tech up, but they can expand faster and their armies are faster and they can just absorb losses better. So there are the trade-offs. I understand that. I don't know. I wish sometimes I could make an Ultralisk and be scary with it, like Terran can make a battlecruiser and be scary with it. Maybe I'll try it in my games. Anyway, a bunch of Hellions here. We got a medevac, which indicates we're probably going to go for Hellbat transformation. Is there not an armory yet? There's one on the way. No, never mind. Just going to be killing queens with Marines and Hellions. Oh, yeah. That was great. 2 queens dead for pretty much nothing for Bunny. Great trade. Absolutely. Serral has lost more than Bunny has, but not by a whole lot. Trying to drop here inside the main base, but the map awareness of Serral is insane, and that did not do anything at all. Then the Banelings showed up, and everybody on the ground said, no, thank you. This tank is left alone, but not in view. I don't think that's in... That's not it. Oh, now it is. I was going to say... Tank is not in view of that creep, but killing creep tumors kind of telegraphs your presence here. Hellbat transformation now that the armory is done. Centrifugal hooks done in about 10 seconds here. Now that's going to shut this down pretty much instantly. We're only 7.5 minutes into this thing. 4th base, 5th base from Serral. That's going to be canceled. No time to save it. Gonna sacrifice some Marines. There's the cancel. There's the immediate replant. Banelings have speed. They're very scary. Lings rolling on into the 3rd base. They're going to kill a couple Hellbats and then just get out of there, as there is army to defend. The Banelings want to get a connect on these Hellbats, because Hellbats are light and bonus damage versus anything is great for Banelings, because they do bonus damage versus light. Man, this base is in trouble for Serral. Alright, Banelings, crashity crash. Not even actually wasting the Banelings on those, just using the Hydras for it. God, Serral? Look at him keeping the Banelings alive. So he has them for this attack. Well, sort of. They're on their way. Pull the drones in the meantime. Maybe don't get back into a corner and massacre. Blah, blah, blah. Drones down. 3 drones down. And a queen. And a medevac down. Almost a full medevac, though. That hurts quite a bit. The left side attack gets rebuffed as well. And Serral's 5th base comes up in peace, relatively speaking. Bunny's got a 4th base under construction. Coming down the right side is Bunny. Clearing out those creep tumors, as you're wont to do. Drilling claws coming in now. And a macro hatch. And an infestation pit. And 2-2. So this really feels like we're going ultra. And if it's really just Marine Widowmine, nice Widowmine hit. Actually, on a couple of those Banelings. Bunny's just going to be in trouble, is what I'm saying here. That said, Widowmines are good, just because they ignore armor on their hits. Anything that ignores armor is going to be good versus Ultras, because they're only good because of their armor. They're not particularly fast. They can't shoot up. They're big target. They're easy to target. And so the only thing that keeps them alive is they have a ton of armor, which makes them great against Marines, but bad against things like, I don't know, Liberators and Ghosts and Tanks. And Widowmines. So we'll see. I mean, we still could technically go for a Greater Spire, but you have to get a Spire first. And oh, don't see that happening. The Lingbane Hydra are going really well for Serral right now. Bottom right-hand corner. No, gosh, you can't even unload. Just get out of there. Just escape. Escape. please, please do sensor tower in production for Bunny. Trying to attack up this left side, but man, Serral's been rebuffing a lot. Yes, he's killed one hatchery. He forced one hatchery to cancel here. Bunny has, and he's killed 3 drones, but it doesn't seem like enough for the first 10 minutes of this game to win it. Wingbane Hydra and Widowmine. Ooh, doing the friendly fire there. Attacking up the right side. Ling say there's enough of us, right? Widowmine, go again. Bit of some friendly fire there. But just a utterly fantastic job by Serral, being everywhere. I mean, if we watch his camera for a second, you'll notice he's bouncing around a lot. He's checking the edge of the creep. He's spreading creep. He's recognizing when enemies are coming in. He's not going to look at this for a long time, right? He just looks at it, glances at it, says, yes, I could take it. Let's go back home and do something else. Let's go back and do something else. And then once the full retreat is up there, we pull back. He's not injecting there because he doesn't need to.
Mineral field depleted.
I like that he runs. God, I forgot his name. Abathur with the Abathur voice pack. Look, he doesn't really care about that Widowmine drop. 14 drones died to that. He's barely paying attention. He's really babysitting his units out front. He's pulling them back when he recognizes the army's too big. Okay, well, that's enough of that. But that is what it's like to be Serral for about 30 seconds. Is you're just bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. You're everywhere. You're playing fast because that's how Zerg has to be played. You can be a little bit more methodical with Protoss, but man, Protoss, or rather, Zerg needs to be fast. You got to play it fast. If you play it slow, you're gonna die. Serral's working on a 6th base now. Got a good concave setup here from both sides. And going to come on in. And Bunny wants nothing to do with that. We will let the Widowmines hit, though. Chitinous plating has been started, you guys. 18 banelings in production. Ground units getting murdered. And the medevacs can't stick around because enough Hydras are left over to be a problem. Right side attack at the 3rd base. Going to take down a spine. Going to maybe try to burn down this hatch if they have the time for it. No, blinding cloud and then some banelings. And then the medevac gets picked off. That is a lot of dead medevacs, ladies and gents. We're looking at a total of 9 dead medevacs. Income back and forth all over the place here. Currently favoring Serral, but not by a whole ton. As medevacs are great. Viper's in production now from the Zerg player. Another drop coming on down. Bunny's done a great job not allowing Serral to sit back and relax at all, but he hasn't done a great job actually killing bases today. Again, he's killed about 18 drones, which is great. It's better to kill 18 drones than 0 in the first 15 minutes or so. But maybe you need more than that. I don't know. Ling's rolling in. They're going to force a cancel on Bunny's attempt to make a 5th base at the 6 o'clock position. And a couple SCVs died for it, and that's a canceled base. Resources lost about even. And as I say all the time, your resources lost cannot be even if you are planning on beating Serral. You need to have him lose a lot more. Hatchery does get focused down and taken down, and everybody left on the ground is dead. So there you go. Hatch down's a big deal. Trying to take out this left side. This is better defended because it's a newer base and more important to Serral overall for his economy to keep this thing alive than it is to keep this thing alive. Parasitic bomb tossed down. Beautiful split on that medevac to get it out of there. And he's expanding on the bottom right here, too. Serral is just expanding all of the places today. I like the Widowmine play. Ling's going after the Great Wall of Supply Depots here at Bunny's 3rd. And he can get through if he uses the Banelings, but there you go. All right, just busting right on through there. Yeah, 9 SCVs go down, but the Zerg army gets chased away. And Serral trying to bust this Terran army off his front doorstep here at the 12 o'clock position, or 11:30 position, rather. Bunny pushing on in. This is a tight game. Both players effectively maxed out. Is there enough here to save this hatch? There's an Ultralisk now, abducting the tank on in to kill him. Ultralisk taking some shots, but there's only Marines here. So the Ultra should be okay if it gets some help from these Hydralisks for sure. Bunny being so patient, not fully committing there if he doesn't feel like he has it. Bottom right base for Serral is coming up here, and Bunny's trying to retake that 6 o'clock if he can. There's a small group of units in the middle here that might be problematic if they decide to make a beeline for that, because they're all pretty fast. Lings, Hydras with speed, and Infestors are... None of them are very slow units. Liberators in production to deal with the Ultralisks. Again, it's not mass Ultra. It's Ling, Bane, Hydra, Ultralisk with a couple Ultras in the mix. Liberators showing up. Hydra's chomping them to bits, though. And top left-hand base being taken by Serral, too. So he feels extremely comfortable here about 15 minutes into this game. He's working on a bit of a bank. He's sitting on 900 gas. He just made 54 Zerglings, too. Saw those guys come in, and the Lings show up before the planetary is done and chomp it to absolute pieces. These are 3/3 Lings with Adrenal. And that's a cancel in the planetary fortress. These Zerglings have upgrades, but so do the Marines. And the Marines end up winning that one because they have 3/3 too. Right side attack, trying to retake down this third, which seems like a weird target. I don't think he knows about this one in the bottom right, or he would have killed it by now. At least maybe an attempt for it. It's a lot harder to take that third base, which is so deep on creep. Hydras. Can you imagine being in a medevac with Hydras chasing you and shooting spines into your ship, and you're pleading with the pilot to go faster, but she can't because she's out of boost? God, that'd be terrifying. Abjectly terrifying. Bunny's 170 supply. Army supply virtually even. Has fewer workers, which is nice for Terran. It's a bit of a late game advantage where they can have fewer SCVs, but mules mean they can keep up economically with Protoss and Zerg. Banelings engaging off creep. That's how you know you have enough Banelings, is when you're engaging off creep. And there you go. Not enough Banelings anymore. Lings just moving down south, but Bunny's actually protecting the 6 o'clock this time. Good for him. Do we have building armor? That'd be awesome. I don't think we have building armor. It'd help with those little Ling attacks into your planetaries. I mean, they can usually handle themselves, but bottom right-hand base does get discovered by Bunny. It's going to wipe it out. Serral's income is advantageous, to say the least, over the last 10 minutes. Liberator's doing work. They have advanced ballistics. That Ultralist is going to go down. And it does. Dude, is Bunny going to win this game? Bunny's got some really nice wins here in the last couple of minutes. He took down the bottom right-hand base. He's going to probably take down the top left-hand base if he knows it's there. Which he sort of does. He knows there's creep up there. Why else would there be creep? Okay, so he's going to maybe zone out the army and go check up that ramp and see what's there. There you go. SCV says, yes. Completely undefended empty hatchery. I suppose we could kill that. The abducts on the... Double abduct on that Liberator. At least it took a ton of energy to die. That works a lot. Did he get this base? When did he get this base? Well, he got this base, and he's going to get it again. Dude, Serral might be in a bit of trouble. And a spot of trouble, as our neighbors across the pond would say. Do we have any? Oh, yes, we do. We have Ultras, Hydras, Banelings, and Zerglings coming for the 6 o'clock. The hug. The hug is here. But, no, it's dead. Banelings, Ultras, Lings. That Ultra dies. Okay. 12 SCVs go down. 3 drones getting killed by this Liberator. Not too shabby Liberator. And the top left-hand base being killed by an SCV. So the planetary goes down at the 6 o'clock. The top left-hand base eventually will get worked down by this SCV. Possibly. Bottom right-hand base being replanted by Serral. He kind of needs this. And does he have enough army in the neighborhood to save it? I don't think he's trying to burn it. Okay, Bunny being careful. I fully support his life decision to be careful there. Dude, sucking energy off that hatchery from these Vipers. I know you want energy, but that hatchery's already very low on HP. It's already at half. Now it's lower. Nice abducts on the Liberators. That is how you handle Liberators when they're going after your Ultras, man. You abduct them into your Hydralisks. It's complicated, but it looks real good if you're good at it. And the bottom right base goes down. Dude, this is what I'm talking about. That is 5 hatcheries killed by Bunny today. That's how you beat Serral, is you kill his hatcheries. You kill his drones. You prevent him from getting any more mining bases, really. Army supply 127 to 110 in favor of Bunny. Again, he only has 43 SCVs, but mules are good. And he can keep up economically. Even though Serral does have the better economy, that hatch is going to go down too. Bunny is kind of steamrolling right now. 6 o'clock base gonna die again. This this is a Groundhog Day live die repeat scenario for everybody working at the 6 o'clock base. It is cursed. Top left-hand base does finally get some attention from some military units rather than a single lone SCV in the hatchery dies. Okay, seriously, we're looking at 7 hatches killed here. 7 hatches killed is a lot of hatches. Got some burrowed zerglings in here. Do you have any scans available? Dude, this is great. I mean, Serral has a mining out base for income, a mining out base for income, a mining out base for income. Not that Bunny's doing super good with economy himself, mind you. He's not even using a scan. He knows there's lings here, but he doesn't care. If they pop up, they die. There's only 4 of them. Are there any medevacs down here? It'd be nice. I guess they're all with this particular ginormous army. Serral has decided corruptors are a better answer to these liberators than just Vipers alone. But you know what can't shoot down is corruptors. So the ground army better be enough to handle Bunny's ground army, or it's not going to be enough. The ultras are off kite, off creep, and being kited quite excellently. And then when they turn to run, they're not very fast. But they can't be slowed by Marauder Slow because they're massive units. This is maybe an overstimmed army from Bunny, but he's trying to do what he can. Target firing on those Banelings. More Banelings coming in. Bunny's army's at 125 to 82 right now. Medevac's desperately healing, but they're all very low on HP. The stimming has been consistent here. Serral's income, again, has been very good. But the trades are starting to favor Bunny a lot. 43,000 resources lost for Serral. 35,000 resources lost for Bunny. Corruptor's gonna fly on in and take down this base. Every time Bunny tries to defend this, Serral sends exactly what he needs to kill it. But I'm telling you, if Bunny kills this, Bunny's gonna get this hatch. That is a full abandonment. Holy crap. 6 o'clock base dies. Neither player's income is all that super healthy right now for the 22-minute mark of this day. It's still favoring Serral, but not by a ton. And if you're making better trades, that's totally fine. Yeah, man. Serral's in trouble. He's long distance mining from this 3 o'clock base. He's trying to replant his 1130. Bunny's long distance mining while he flies an orbital command over that way. This might get an epic tag. This game, just for how sheerly back and forth it has been. Serral's going to wipe out any... God, the Widow Mines. Paying for themselves, yo. Armies on opposite sides of the field right now. Serral's army is fast, especially on creep. This right-hand base is going to die again. I don't know if the army's going to get here in time. There's some Broodlords, but they're too slow. And the attack up this way means that Serral has to split his attention. He killed another hatchery. I don't think he's going to get this one. The distraction worked, though. And another hatchery dies. 12 more drones down. 10 hatcheries killed. If you kill 10 hatcheries in a TVZ, you generally win. That said, SCVs getting massacred is never a good thing for Bunny. I know he has mules, but he doesn't actually have a lot of orbital commands. He's got 1 orbital command, 2 orbital commands, you guys. Bunny pulling back to defend the 6 o'clock for the 87th time today. Has to burn a scan, killing a burrowed Zergling at the 6 o'clock position. Serral effectively has this 12 o'clock mining base. Bunny has effectively this 6 o'clock mining base. It is 46 workers for Serral, but oversaturating a hatchery doesn't do you much. If you have 1 base, it's 1 base. You know, Corruptor's doing great against these Liberators. Just owning the skies here. Police until ground units show up, and then it's really bad. Landing the mule, or the orbital, so you can mule down here. Toss down, is he saving it for scans? Maybe he is. This is so close. It's 145 to 148 at the 24-minute mark. This game has been absolutely bananas. Really, 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 really enjoying this so far. 3 more Broodlords in production. I don't know about putting your resources in Broodlords. I mean, I guess it's just they're so slow. If I was Bunny, I'd attack where the Broodlords are not right now. Dang, he doesn't care. Look at him not care about these Broodlords, guys. He's standing and fighting with a Marine Marauder Ball against Broodlords and not running at all. He's killing the Broodlings pretty quickly, in fairness. Oh, if he can jump up. The Banelings are here, though, and the Banelings are cruising. Cruising USA. And all right. The splits were okay, but not enough. And that is your good game, Serral. I don't know. I don't know about that decision to attack into a very well-defended base that had Broodlords. A lot of them, actually. 10 Broodlords. We're not talking like 3 or 4. 3 or 4, I would have felt better about it. But 10 is a lot of Broodlords. Wow. Yeah, I mean, honestly, second-guessing Bunny, not great. And this base died again. This base never was allowed to come up. This 6 o'clock for Bunny, I don't think it was alive for more than 2 or 3 minutes before it died. Every single time. So I guess I understand the impulse to kill this base. But man, Serral had it. You didn't have any Vikings at all. You were doing great until about 20 Banelings showed up, and that was the end of that. Yeah? Yeah. Income is just favoring Serral the whole last 10 minutes, which is just dead impressive. He ended up killing 73 SCVs. Yeah, great back and forth. I really think what it came down to was that last stand, obviously. Serral holding on after losing 10 hatcheries. Again, losing 10 hatcheries as a Zerg player and winning is nearly impossible. It just is. Yep. Nigh onto impossible. So, good stuff, man. Great stuff from both of these players. 285 Marines went down, 456 Lings, 10 Ultras died, 21 Liberators died. An Orbital Command and a Planetary died. That's actually fewer technical bases that died for Serral or for Bunny than I thought had. Yeah, fantastic TVZ. It's hard to fault either player for how they played there, but both of them really just gutting it out hard here, and Serral barely manages to squeak it out. Incredible. All right, well, you know what? That's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and a Patreon cast. Go ahead, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.